Yes, Gabriela, bring it.
So, I'll be talking about remaining in His presence. Remain. Um, Good afternoon, everybody. So, I have a question. How many of you felt the presence of the Lord when you walked into the sanctuary? Because I know I did. Wouldn't you love to just remain there? So, we're going to talk about that for the next few minutes. When I started writing this, I had to ask myself a few questions, like, what is the Lord's presence? How do I get there? What does it feel like? How do you know you're in it? And like any good Christian, I Googled it. So, what is the Lord's presence? Well, we have to start by looking at the origin of the word presence in the Bible. It comes from the Hebrew word panim, meaning face. So when you're in God's presence, it means you're face to face with Him. About 2.5 years ago, I was thinking about changing my major because I didn't want to continue studying something I wasn't really interested in. So I asked God what He wanted me to do with my life. And He didn't take long to answer. I had a dream a few days or weeks after that, and He made it really, really clear what He wanted me to do. But I didn't listen. I didn't put my faith in Him into action. I remained where I was. The year after that, I was a complete mess. I didn't enjoy studying anymore, so I let my grades slip, and I inherently lost my scholarship. So I started feeling sad because I felt like I had too much going on, so I would just read books to take my mind off of things. But that became a problem because I wasn't facing my reality, that I had disobeyed God's direct instruction. Then last year, during the district youth wintercon, I decided, like Nehemiah, to ask God for forgiveness. I surrendered myself to Him, and then things started to change. I had to learn to remain in His presence. But how do you do this? How do you get to be face to face with God, and how do you remain there? Well, simple. You need to be still. Psalm 46:10, God tells us to be still and know that I'm God. And it might be simple to say, be still, but it's not as easy as it seems. Trust me. That is something I learned when I was preparing for this. I had to take a moment, I had to sit still and remember that He is God and that He is in control. Had to surrender my will to His and learn that it is not okay to always do things in a rush or be in a rush. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "For everything there is a reason, a time for every activity under heaven." So, remaining in His presence can be uncomfortable because of the small changes He makes in us that get us to where we need to be. I had to give up reading, my favorite hobby, because it was taking up my time that I could be spending in God's presence. I had to give up listening to secular music because the power of life and death is in our tongues, and music that is not made to worship God does not edify us. These were just some of the small changes I had to make to remain in His presence. Now, ask yourselves, what is keeping you from remaining in His presence?